Good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Hoops and Hot Takes podcast. It has been a full week since we last made an episode, and a lot has happened. The first round has wrapped up. Some shockers, some bangers. We will talk about all of it. And then for tonight, the second round has started, and we will be talking about the game ones that happened today. So, without further ado, let's jump right in.
Wait, and our full round two predictions.
Oh, right.
hmm Yeah,
I did forget about that.
yeah. First round matchup between the Cavs and the Raptors. One of three game
Mhm.
sevens, I believe. Um,
Correct.
yeah.
Honestly, I think this game just shows like sometimes home court advantage really does matter. Not a single team won a road game, and I really just
Yeah.
think like the difference between the way like especially like the role players played on the road versus at home. Now, of course, game seven, or of course, for the Raptors, Emmanuel quickly was out the entire series.
hmm
Uh, Brandon Ingram, I think, got hurt in game five. So it's just like a lot of unfortunate things happened. I think they could have definitely won, but in the end, Cavs do get it done. To talk about Game Seven, honestly, I think it's no secret I've been very critical of Jared Allen, and Jared Allen was fantastic, especially in the second half. I think first half, uh, Raptors were pretty dominant. They were kind of just like pushing everyone around a little bit, and then
hmm
second half they kind of just forgot how to play. And Jared Allen kind of took over in the third quarter. Let me pull up his third quarter stats. But he had a monster quarter. Like he had 14 points and 10 rebounds in the third quarter alone.
hmm
And that's like what he has. That's probably more than what he had in most games. Uh, Especially rebounding wise. Yeah. Game six, the entire game, he had 14 points and 7 rebounds. Game five, he had 9 points, 3 rebounds. Game four, he had 3 points, 15 rebounds, right? Like,
Yeah.
honest, yeah. His the highest he scored in a game outside of game seven is 14 points. It's like in the third quarter, he matched like any game, basically. The game seven has been by far his best game. 19 rebounds, also his best rebounding night. Uh, yeah, just a great night from Jared Allen. 8 offensive rebounds. Just can't say enough about what he did.
hmm Yeah. Um, yeah. Jared Allen definitely had a great game seven. I think this series, I don't think actually no. It did kind of show us something. Because even though I think most of us had, the Cavs winning, because the Cavs are the better team. I think we still see that, the Cavaliers are the better team. They
Mhm.
have the better roster. But the best player in this series was Scotty Barnes. And I think
Yeah.
for that reason, it explains why, maybe the lesser team was still able to force game seven and win all
Mhm.
their home games. And then
Yeah.
obviously, you had other players on the Raptors who stepped up, RJ Barrett, Colin Murray Rose had some decent games, so yeah.
Right.
hmm
And for a game seven, James Harden did not play with too bad.
hmm
Like he wasn't fantastic or anything. Like game one and game two, James Harden was epic.
hmm
He was okay this game.
Right. Um, I think it's actually somewhat encouraging if you're the Cavs. Um, Not that like you want to go to game seven in your first round matchup as a contender, but
Mhm.
I mean Harden, Mitchell did not have the best series. Allen and Mobley, I mean, they were they both had some rough games. Mobley had some good games. Allen had a good game seven. But like just generally speaking, like you did not have your best series. And you still came out on top. I think that's always encouraging. Definitely seen the other East
Mhm.
contenders. Obviously, the Celtics eliminated. The Knicks, struggled a little bit until like the end. Till game five and six, where those weren't really close. Um, and then the Pistons, who were down 3-1 against the AFC. So like, if you're the Cavs, I don't think you can be like too disappointed with the results. I mean,
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah. And I actually do have the Cavs coming out of the East right now. Um, Not
Mm,
very comfortable with that decision just because of Harden's playoff history and also Mitchell just being somewhat underwhelming this year, this season, whereas he's normally pretty good in the playoffs. Um, but
mm,
yeah.
yeah.
hmm
Uh, Obviously, I think did we both pick the Celtics to come out of the East?
I mean, we both had the Celtics, yeah, originally, but now they're obviously
Yeah,
gone.
they are both gone.
hmm
Yeah, uh I think right now it's probably between Cavs and Knicks.
Yeah,
I don't want to
yeah,
overreact too much to tonight's Knicks game. I think the Sixers are still a pretty good team. It's the
yeah,
only issue I have with the Sixers is they run a 6-man rotation, and if
yeah.
Embiid goes down, they're kind of cooked.
Yeah, I'm also between the Cavs and Knicks right now. hmm Okay, next series. Nuggets Timberwolves. Yeah,
You got this one. You got this one.
yeah. So one of the reasons that we actually did not have a episode on Thursday, which is actually the day
Mm.
this series ended, was because the series ended that day. I needed to take some time to kind of gather my thoughts on the season.
He took a mental health leave.
I just had to gather my thoughts a little bit, just kind of considering what this means. Oh, also, I think we should kind of go over, maybe go back to this
Hmm.
one. With the eliminated team, I think we should kind of briefly talk about their off season. I mean, obviously, we're not there yet, and we're still in the
Mm.
playoffs. But I mean, with the Raptors, I think they should also take away that this is a good season. I don't think anyone expected them to be the fifth seed, to be competitive against the East contender. They have a young team, so in the off season, I'm pretty excited to see what they do. I think they should keep most of their pieces. Um, and yeah,
Mm.
do you have anything to add on that?
I think they need to figure something out at the center position.
hmm
Jakob Poeltl is just not the answer.
hmm
I think if I was them, honestly, uh, Miles Turner, you know, probably does not have a future with the Bucks. I don't hate his fit next to Colin Murray Boyles.
Yeah.
So that is someone that the Raptors could target.
Yeah, that would also give them kind of like, Twin Towers on defense, kind of, but like Palmer Rose can be more on the inside and Turner kind of operates more on the perimeter and on offense, kind of you know,
Mm-hmm.
a threat from multiple,
Well, I
you
think the
know,
main thing is just
bases on the
like
floor.
Colin Murray Boyle is a very good rebounder.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, and
Miles
Turner
Turner
is also,
is one
yeah.
of the worst rebounders I've ever
Yeah.
seen.
So they complement each
Colin
other
Murray
pretty
Boyles,
nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
Colin Murray Boyles is a little bit undersized. He's a great
hmm
defender, but like he's not
hmm
exactly a good rim protector. Rim protector is about the only thing on defense Miles Turner can do. And then Colin Murray Boyles kind of more of an inside player, and
Yeah.
Miles Turner is a floor spacer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like how they fit.
hmm hmm Yeah. All right. So back to, this series. I mean, we didn't really kind of talk about it yet, but, yeah, I think both of us expected this to go to game seven, and once it was game seven, I think both of us also had a Nuggets winning that game. I think most people said like, yeah, the Timberwolves had to win game six, and they
Mhm.
did because they went back to seven. Like Denver was probably winning that one. Um, I mean, game six was close throughout most of the game until the fourth quarter, then it wasn't. That's kind of like a recurring theme between Nuggets and Timberwolves, and actually just the way the Nuggets go out like every season. Um,
Mhm.
it's always the very end on the brink of elimination, and it just looks like the Nuggets give up. I mean, last year, game seven, Nuggets lost by like 20, right? Got blown out by the Thunder. Um,
Mhm.
the year before against the Timberwolves, close game, Nuggets up pretty big, and then it's in the end just collapsed. I mean, this game as well. It's just like in the end, you just collapse. So I think, I mean, a little bit reflective of Jokic and the rest of the lineup, just like because I mean, this has been a problem for Jokic. He's definitely matured a little bit, but he can get very annoyed. He can get irritated.
Mhm.
Mentally, he's not like the most like stable. I mean, even previous seasons, like the year the Nuggets lost to the Suns, he went out getting ejected and swinging at Cameron Payne, and that's how the season ended. You know, it's like the season always ends in a very frustrating manner for Jokic and the Nuggets. I mean, there's always this narrative that Jokic doesn't like basketball or he doesn't care about basketball that much, or it's like a side gig or whatever, like side job.
Hmm.
That's very much not true. Like Jokic cares a lot. I mean, obviously, if you're one of the best players in the world, or like even the best player in the world, you're gonna have to care. So, I mean, yeah. So I think Jokic definitely has to work on that. I don't know how he could, um, but it's been an issue. Like he gets
Hmm.
frustrated, and when he gets frustrated, he's not one of those like I don't know, like Anthony Edwards. When they're mad, they play better. Or like a Michael Jordan, they play better when they're mad. Jokic
Hmm.
kind of plays worse when he's mad, because his game requires him to be, methodical, in rhythm,
Hmm.
like using his brain, calculating, taking what the defense gives him. But when he's mad, it's like, oh shoot, like he's just like doing stuff now. Um, so yeah, and then obviously in the last like week or so, Nikola Jokic has received a ton of criticism. And it makes sense
Yeah.
because someone of
Well,
his
I
caliber,
don't think it makes sense. I
no,
don't
no,
think it
no,
makes
no.
sense because they're talking about
Yeah,
like
okay.
his playoff meltdown and they're going back and doing like revisionist history on his past playoff
Yes.
runs.
Yes, yes,
Like,
yeah.
sure, game like 2023 was not like it wasn't like the best playoff run ever, but he played good teams. Like
Hmm.
they swept in the conference finals, you know?
Yeah.
They beat like he kind of ran out of gas, sure. But like the Suns team was very good, right? And they beat the Timberwolves in what? They beat
Hmm.
them in five.
Hmm.
Yeah, like that was a good team too. It was the team. It was like almost the same team that beat them the next year. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, exactly like you're saying. I mean, right now he's been receiving a lot of criticism, and people are looking back at his full career and his legacy, right? And people are looking at this and
Mhm.
saying, like, okay, this series really kind of challenges and questions where Jokic should rank all time. Should he even go down? This is really a legacy, a hurting moment. And this is
Mhm.
where I think, like you were saying, I think people are taking it way too far. Um, just a couple points. And the first point is if we just look at this series alone and how Jokic actually performed this series, he played subpar, like for him. But if we just look at the numbers, and obviously numbers don't tell the full story, we always say, right, on this podcast that, there are players who are better than their numbers and players who are worse than numbers, right? Usually Jokic has his insane numbers and he's even better than his numbers. Well, this is one of the occurrences where, well, he didn't play up to his numbers. But let's just look at his numbers, right? He averaged 26 points, 13 rebounds, 9.5 assists, 55% from two, right? These are really solid numbers. Now, obviously, he could not shoot a three at all. Like he was like, I don't know, like 5 for like 30, from three in the series.
Mhm.
But if you just look at those numbers, 26, 13, and 10, I mean, those are still really, really good numbers. Not up to Jokic's
Right.
normal standards. His efficiency was terrible. His defense was terrible. Not telling the full story, but just to post those numbers, it kind of tells you the level that Jokic is already at for people to
Mhm.
be like, this is terrible. This is a legacy ruining moment. If we look back to other superstars in history, right? We always talk about LeBron James, and I hate to always bring LeBron James into this topic, but LeBron James, right, has had multiple series, most notably in 2011 in the NBA Finals, where he had much
Okay, but
worse
there's a difference.
performances
This is different. That's different though. That's not the same. That is not the same. LeBron was how old was LeBron when he did that?
in 2011.
Yeah.
LeBron was 20, 27, 26.
Well, he's what? He's 41 now. It's 2026. That was 15 years ago. Yeah, he was 26. Exactly.
Yeah, he's 26 years
How
old.
old's Jokic?
30. Well, actually, I think he might be 31 now.
Yeah, he's 31, right? So
Yeah,
it's a
and that's what people
five-year
are saying.
difference.
Yeah.
If Jokic had this meltdown 5 years ago, like people would not be reacting the same way. And also, like LeBron responded to that by going on like what he had made what like 8 straight finals, like
Yeah.
one of the most dominant stretches
Well,
ever. He
that was
won
part of the
four.
Ace trade. Yeah.
Yeah, it was part of
Yeah.
the eight. That
Hmm.
was
That,
yeah, correct. That was part of
yeah.
the 8 straight.
Hmm.
He went on to win to go to 7 more NBA finals, won 3 of them.
Won
Like
four of them.
oh no, because the last one's not part of the 8 straight.
Oh, right. You're right. You're right. Yes. Yeah.
So yeah. But Jokic, I don't know. Maybe after this, Jokic will respond by going on eight straight finals. I'm sure you'd love that. But like the difference is like he did also is like Jokic did this in the first round. LeBron did it in the NBA finals. Like that's a very
No, no,
different stage to have meltdown.
right. But look, I'm just saying this series alone, right? You look at, I mean, Curry, the entire 2015 run, entire 2016 run, not great.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why Iguodala won Finals MVP. In 2016, if they won, people say Draymond Green would have won MVP, Finals MVP, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can just go back and pretty much even Kobe Bryant had terrible playoff series, especially early in his playoff. And I see like you're saying all these are earlier in the playoff careers, and then later on, like the
Right.
reason why their all-time great came later. And I understand that, but I don't know. I feel like this series, like how bad it actually was, isn't isn't fair. Um, in the sense that he actually did play better than most of these other superstars in their worst series. And Jokic, like if we just look at his playoff resume, like you were saying,
Okay,
like
but
he's
are you sure this is
consistently
his
been a
worst
playoff
series?
riser. This is his worst series. He's consistently
Okay.
been a playoff riser. Like this is known, you know? And just yeah. So I definitely think this like the whole narrative that all of a sudden like we should be questioning Jokic's like place in history. Have we been overrating him? No, I don't think so. I think people are
Wait,
getting
I
ahead of
think no,
themselves.
no. But here's the thing. I think a lot of people have been overrating him, especially you. You're already basically penciling him in top 10 by the end of his career. You say he will retire top 10, and I just think that we're taking that step way too early. Like he is not top 10 without a second ring. And there's no guarantee he wins a second ring. And a lot of people are just penciling him in to top 10 spot when I don't think deserves that.
No, no, that's talking about greatness. I don't know if he's going to win a second ring, but when we're talking about just like how good he is at basketball, you know, like people now are questioning like, oh shoot, like this guy isn't actually that good, and they're like Shea is
Well,
better,
yeah,
Wemby's
because
better.
okay, I don't know about that, but like there are very clear shortcomings in this guy's game.
Yeah, and we'll get to that when we kind of talk about the Nuggets as a whole. But I just want to say, like, I do think this the Jokic kind of this hate, like, it's like a sudden like pendulum like swing, like all of a sudden people are just like everywhere. People are just like, yeah, I've been saying this the whole time. What were you guys saying? Jokic is not that good. I'm just like, where is this coming from? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually knew going into the series that second half of the season, Jokic hasn't been able to shoot. He hasn't been able to shoot his three. His wrist has been off, you know?
Mm.
Like his wrist has been off. He has his injury, and like I don't know why people feel like they can just like act like that isn't a thing. Now, obviously, it happened. Like the fact is, he couldn't shoot, but like,
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
What did he
um,
shoot in the playoffs?
from three,
Yeah,
no, let me take a quick look.
19%.
Yeah, 19%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good for 107th in the playoffs.
hmm
Wait, you want to know what Spencer Jones shot?
he's number one. He's like 60%.
He
Like,
shot 70% from three.
oh, 7%. Yeah,
It's kind of crazy.
yeah. Um, and then the other thing is like going into the series, I had Nuggets in five, mainly because Nuggets are a better team. I think going like compared to other, if their Nuggets are matched up against like any other team versus like Timberwolves matched up against other team, like Nuggets are going to do better pretty much against any other team. Um, but it's just this matchup is really unfavorable for the Nuggets, and I thought this wouldn't be a thing anymore. With with Jaden, not Jaden, with Nikhil Alexander Walker gone, with Conley being a little older, with Cat gone, and I was wrong. I was wrong about that. Um,
Hmm.
the
Wait, I
Timberwolves
also
still very
just
much was structured
I don't
enough to
know.
beat the Nuggets.
Like this team made back-to-back conference finals.
Yes. No, I actually have the Timberwolves. Even like it wasn't if it wasn't for the fact that the Nuggets are playing the Timberwolves, I would have had the Timberwolves like maybe going to the conference finals again.
Hmm. Okay.
there were three teams that I had winning the NBA Finals: the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, and the Cavs. Nuggets and Timberwolves were more agenda based. So, not Nuggets and Timberwolves. Nuggets and Cavs were more agenda based. So, I mean, I had the Timberwolves winning the NBA Finals.
Hmm.
Yeah. And actually, right now, I'm like considering like maybe they are my finals pick. Hmm.
So what
Yeah.
is I don't know what is the Nuggets' path for improvement? Like,
Yeah.
what do you
I think,
do?
yeah, there's also been a lot of speculation about like just like blowing up the roster, trading everyone that's not Jokic, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, I definitely think you keep Murray and Jokic. Um,
Hmm.
and Gordon,
Would you
like,
be opening to
I
would
don't
you
want
be open to inviting Michael Porter Jr. back onto the team?
I don't think they would. I would be open to it. I just don't think that would make any sense.
Hmm.
Just like it'd be kind of awkward as well, right? You bring him back and be like, oh, we're wrong. Well, then now you can't, like, you just can't do that, you know? Like, that's not gonna work.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think Murray and Jokic has to stay. Have to stay. People are saying, "Oh, Murray needs to leave," and I understand like that combination makes it very hard for Nuggets to defend, effectively in the pick and roll. But these
Hmm.
two have a very legitimate argument for being, um, a top three combo duo like this century, and they have a very strong argument for being the best duo for like since they've been a thing. It's either them or Tatum Brown. So, or maybe Steph Draymond, whatever. But
No Halliburton Nemhard. I'm just kidding.
no, of course.
Shea J Dub.
Yeah. No, of course not. Just like if you look at all the numbers, the points created, points assistance to one another, just all these things, like Jokic and Murray, I mean, just offensively, my are gonna go down as like one of the best in history. Um, I don't
Hmm.
see how you can just like tear that apart. I sincerely hope that the Nuggets front office don't overreact and get rid of Jamal Murray. That being said, I think the roster doesn't need like a full kind of rebuild kind of change. I do think you get a backup big. Not that's not
Okay,
Valanciunas.
but
Valanciunas is unplayable. Backup big.
okay,
Now you
but
get
that's
a
been
rim
like the
protector.
thing every single year.
Right,
Like,
but like last season we said
when's the last time you had to back up big?
never. Well, I mean, we had DeMarcus
Exactly.
Cousins, but like he wasn't also a good defender, and Valanciunas like was unplayable. Like, he basically didn't play. He played like two games this series.
All right. Who
Um,
was it last year?
Last year, DeAndre Jordan was with us for like 3 seasons, and
No,
DeAndre
who was the guy
Jordan,
that you said was like mini Jokic? Who'd you trade for Valanciunas?
Dario Saric,
Oh yeah. Man, I
but
remember beginning of last season. Man, you were so excited about Dario Saric. Oh, he's mini Jokic, He's gonna come in and finally we're gonna have the guy who does exactly what Jokic does.
no, but Valanciunas can do a lot of things that Jokic does as well, and obviously doesn't pass the same. But Valanciunas and Jokic are two of the most effective post players in the league, right? But they
Hmm.
both can't defend anything. You like Valanciunas is a worse defender than Jokic, and he can't like yeah. So this season, you actually get a solid rim protecting big that you can play with Jokic, because also Jokic and Valanciunas were like never playing together, right?
Hmm.
Right. So this is a
Right.
big that can cover up for Jokic's weaknesses. You get perimeter defenders, right? And I don't know what I want Christian Brown gone just because of the horrific season he had and the terrible contract he's on. But like, I don't know who would take him, just based on the contract he had and the season he had. But he has
Hmm.
been a very underwhelming defender because he was supposed to be like replacing Contavious Caldwell-Pope, KCP, as a good
Hmm.
like 3-and-D kind of option. He can't shoot this season. Prior to the season, he could a little bit. Could not shoot, could not defend. He was only like getting points just off fast breaks. So
Hmm.
Christian Brown has become a liability. Peyton Watson needs to be extended at all costs. He needs to be re-signed at
Hmm.
all costs. Yeah, right. And then Aaron Gordon hopefully stays as well. So really, I don't think the Nuggets are that far off. Like even like Jokic said, "Oh, I think we're very far off," whatever. No, I don't think the Nuggets are actually that far off. You get solid perimeter defenders, athletic defenders, you get rim protectors, and then
But I think what
you
you're
have
saying is
shooters.
very far off because you're like this is such a dream scenario. Like where are you like good perimeter defenders do not just grow on the ground. There's a reason why Christian Brown's on such a big contract. It's because valuable, like playable, high level 3-and-D defenders do not come along very often. Like most people that you say are like can shoot threes, they're cones. Most people that you say are great defenders, they have no offensive back. Like true 3-and-D is so hard to come by, and like most people that actually can play that are like that can shoot and can defend are also pretty good at other stuff, and they can just go be like a star on another team. Like finding a player who is willing to be like your third or fourth option and just shoot and play defense, like that's so hard to come by. And most teams, like I say they don't grow on the ground or grow on trees, but like
Mhm.
the only way to like reliably get them is to develop them yourselves because those kind of players are also rarely on the market because they're so valuable to your team. They're almost always locked up to contracts. It's like we're like, who are you even gonna target? You know,
No, it wouldn't be in free agency.
you would draft one
I mean,
or you would trade for one.
I think you'd trade for one. Nuggets, like
From
realistically, I
who?
mean, what
Wait,
you
who
look
are
at,
you
like Cameron
trading?
Carr. I don't think he's necessarily the solution at all. I mean, you could draft
But who
him.
are you trading for?
I mean, this is
Like, who are
something
you
we can
trading?
discuss more in our off-season
I guess,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
episodes. But I
That'd be
mean,
more
right
in the
now I'm just
offseason.
saying like this is what the Nuggets kind of need, you know? Um, which I don't think is that far off. Like you get a backup big that can rim protect, a traditional big, and then some perimeter defenders. Because the team doesn't
No,
lack
but
shooting
once
right
again,
now. The team just couldn't
I,
shoot. And
I'm what I'm saying is like, yes, like all the things you're saying, yes, it's not like huge moves. It's not like a complete roster overhaul. You need to like blow it up or anything. But like the moves you say they need to make are not easy to make.
sure, they're not easy, but that's why you have a front office to do those
No,
things.
no, but like, more what I still don't think you understand what I'm saying. Like, I don't, you guys don't really have any assets to trade for a 3-and-D guy, you know? Like, that guy's supposed to be Cam Johnson, right? And I
And
guess
he,
he is 3-and-D, but like, do you understand what I mean?
no, I do
Like,
understand what you mean. But I think
you guys
Nuggets are
don't have
still in a better
roster
position than
assets.
I still, yeah, sure, sure. Right. It's going to be hard to make these moves, especially when you want to keep you have Jokic, Murray, Gordon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless they do want a roster overhaul, which I think would be absurd. Like, I think that'd be really dumb.
Right.
Because what the Nuggets have right now, in Murray, Jokic, and Gordon, that's already putting you in a better position than like 25 teams in the league.
Mm.
Just in terms of like you have a championship potential if you have those three.
Right.
Um,
Right.
yeah. So I think, like it's not going to be easy to get those pieces, but those
Mm-hmm.
are just the pieces that, will kind of get you over the hump and get you over Minnesota. Um,
Mm. Do you think that the Nuggets
yeah,
should have traded for Ayo Dosunmu at the deadline?
no,
No. Why not?
no, no,
Does he
that's
not
not what
give you
that
guys
happened.
speed and athleticism? No, I swear, like the Nuggets traded like it was like 2 second round picks or something.
Yeah, those are like salary dumps. And also, who did we get rid of? Got rid of somebody in order to sign Spencer Jones to a guaranteed contract.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, okay. So you guys just didn't have space. Okay, I guess that makes
yeah,
sense.
that was all that was for. It was just to get Spencer Jones a full guaranteed contract because he was on a two-way because he can't play playoffs in two-way. Yeah, and he was actually quite useful in the playoffs.
Hmm.
Yeah, and yeah, and Timberwolves,
All right.
yeah,
Well,
Mm.
no, we don't need to talk about Timberwolves. They're moving on.
yeah, yeah. We're moving on, so we'll talk about them next in their series against the Spurs. Um, yeah, I mean, do you have anything more to say about like Jokic?
No, you said everything there is to say and more.
No, because I'm just wondering if you're also in the camp where like, oh, Jokic, is getting overhated right now, or like,
Oh, I definitely am in that camp.
yeah,
I still think he's probably the best player. I think Shea is. My stance on Jokic being the best player is more to do with I think Shea's overrated. Uh, but yeah,
right. But what about Wemby now? I mean, realistically,
well,
I,
we'll get to Wemby when we get to the Spurs.
okay,
I have some things I want to say
yeah, I want
because
to say this stuff.
I think
Yeah,
mhm. Yeah, you say what you want to say.
yeah. Well, I mean, I said this earlier, earlier in the season, many times. Jokic is the best player in the league when he's at his best. When everyone's at their best, Jokic is the best. But when Jokic is at his worst, which we saw in the
Hmm.
playoffs, the series, Shea and Wemby are at the same level and even have an argument for being better. Because when Wemby is bad, right, and he has many bad offensive games, his defense is always like pretty consistent. He's always going to be the best defender in the league when he's playing healthy. Shea, when he's playing bad, we haven't really seen much of that. Shea has been the ultimate consistent like player the last 2, 3 seasons. I mean, his 20 point game streak is just proof of that. I mean, he's just been really consistent. And yeah, he's not giving you like 60, 50 point games all the time, but he's consistently giving you 30 and 40 like every game on high efficiency, leading to wins. So I do think Shea and Wemby are at that level right now with Jokic, both of them. Well, I think, yeah, once again, Jokic at his best, still the best player in the league. But Jokic wasn't at his best. Yeah, you agree.
Mm, I agree mainly. I agree mostly.
Okay, so we move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Man, I want to apologize to Knicks fans, or not Knicks fans, Hawks fans. Uh, it almost feels like after last Monday, when I gave my CJ McCollum apology. After that, he kind of just forgot how to play basketball because he wasn't great the last 3 games
Hmm.
or the last 2 games. But yeah, just like sometimes a team is better than you, a team counters you, and like it takes them a while. It takes a while for them to realize that, right? But then the Knicks realized that, and they just realized, hey, the Hawks can't guard Cat. And when they can't guard Cat, they'll start doubling him. And Cat's a decent passer from the center position. So let's play through him. They played through him. And yeah, the Hawks kind of just like got destroyed. Uh Game 6 wasn't terrible. I mean, game 6 was a blowout. You guys lost by 30. But like it wasn't
Well, you mean
the
game five?
worst thing in the world. Or no, I mean game 6, because game 5 happened before last episode. Oh no, you're right. Game 5. Game five.
Yeah,
Game
you mean
five.
game five? Because I'm like game
Yeah, I
six,
do
they
mean
lost
game
by
five.
more than 30,
Right. Yeah, game five,
which is
game five
insane.
was they lost by 30,
Yeah,
which is bad. But like you
yeah,
can bounce back from that. It's not the worst thing in the world, right? I remember last year the Cavs blew out the Pacers by 30.
yeah,
Pacers
yeah,
came back, blew out the Cavs by 40.
yeah,
But the thing is, game 6, you guys go home court advantage. You're sleeping in your own bed.
yeah.
These are rims that you're used to shooting on. You got the
Well,
friendly crowd. You
yeah,
come out and you lose by 51.
yeah.
51, right? I said
Mhm.
game 5 was not the worst thing in the world. You lost by 30, not the worst thing in the world. 51 might as well be the worst thing in the world. Like, just an absolute pathetic performance by the Atlanta Hawks. I remember I turned on my phone. I was like, oh, Hawks are up 11-9. Let's go. We might be headed to game 7.
Mhm.
And the Knicks go on a from 6:55 left in the first
Mhm.
to 9:06 left in the third. They go on an 87-27 run. I
Yeah.
remember there was a point in time I believe it was at halftime. Uh, was it at halftime? No, it wasn't a halftime. It was somewhere in the middle of the second. The Knicks or the Hawks had 22 points, and OG Anunoby had 23 points.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like
The score was 72-22.
yeah. And you look at the box score and you say, oh, well, you can't blame this on Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson had a good game, 21, 8, and 6. He played well. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. If a single person plays well on your team, you will not let them go on an 87-27 run. It's just embarrassing by the Hawks. You got our hopes up first two games. Honestly, our bad. We should have known better. Yeah. You guys are not that team anymore. Trae Young's gone. I take back everything I said about the Hawks front office. I revert back to what I said in earlier episodes where I said the Trae Young trade was pathetic. You didn't get a single first round pick back, and you got a guy who in game 6 dropped 11 points and went 30% from the field. And in game 6, what did he do? It was also terrible. Actually, game 6, he wasn't terrible. Let's see. Actually, game 6, he was terrible. He had 6 points. 6 points, 3 rounds and assists. Yeah, they kind of just figured this guy out. This is what you got. This was what you got for Trae Young.
Yeah.
Hawks fans, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If the Pacers one day trade away Halliburton and get this, man, I would be out for blood. I would show up to Gainbridge Fieldhouse. I wouldn't say with a gun, but maybe with like some very angry words, So yeah, I'm very sorry, Hawks fans, that you had to go through what you went through. Where do the Hawks go from here?
Yeah, that's a fabulous question. I think before the series, we both had the Knicks winning in 6.
I actually do think, yeah, we did. And
We
we
both
kind of
had
just
the Knicks winning in
overreacted to
6.
game 2 and 3.
No, I still had the Knicks winning in 6. I had the Knicks winning in 6
Oh,
three.
I overreacted to game 2 and 3. I think I switched to Hawks in 7 after game 3.
Yeah,
But
Hawks in 7.
Hawks in 7, right?
Yeah.
But about where they go from here, I think it's really hard because you just like I think I don't remember who I heard this from, but I remember hearing like the worst kind of player is not the guy who only plays offense and plays no defense. It's the guy who only plays defense and plays no offense. Because then you can hide bad defenders on him, and these bad defenders can get a break and play even better offense. I think I remember 2 years ago when the Pacers were playing the Knicks. This was the one where we went to 7, and we lost games 1 and 2 just with awful second halves. I remember we had a lead in both first halves, and we blew it. And a big reason was because Jalen Brunson would come alive in the fourth. And I remember one of the criticisms, I think it was Charles Barkley had for Tyrese Halliburton, was that he would get the ball and he just dribble around and he just pass around the perimeter. And he was saying, like, you can't only pass because Jalen Brunson is on you right now, and you got to get in the paint. Otherwise, you're just giving him a break, right? And I think it was the exact same thing with Dyson Daniels. We were talking about in game 3 how Jalen Brunson was guarding CJ McCollum and how it was going terribly. Well, after that game, they moved Jalen Brunson to Dyson Daniels. And the thing with Dyson Daniels, he can't do anything on offense. Like, he's a decent offensive rebounder, but he gets the rebound and he puts it up and he just breaks a layup, right? Like, Jalen Brunson does not need to do a single thing on offense or on defense. And this guy's just getting a break, is going back, and he's producing more offense for the Knicks, right? So Dyson Daniels out here getting more and more tired, and Jalen Brunson's just getting more and more energy. And on top of that, on top of Dyson Daniels being like somewhat unplayable, or not, I wouldn't say unplayable. As not like apart from Dyson Daniels being very flawed, at least he's playable, right? Like, the Hawks in the past years have just invested so many assets into guys who are straight up unplayable in this series. People like obviously like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, great signing. Jalen Johnson's a pretty good player, but Zachary Risachet, like, you're the number 1 overall pick, and you're getting DMPs in the playoffs. The old
hmm
like he had 8 points and 3 rebounds in game 7 or game 6.
hmm
The only reason he had that was because they were down 50 and they put him in. They were down
Yeah.
61 at one point, right? He did not play in game 5. Played like how many minutes did he play in game 4? Played 4 minutes all at the end of the game. Hit a three. Like this guy couldn't play.
Yeah.
And when you're the number 1 overall pick, like imagine Stephon Castle on this team, right? Or maybe not even Stephon Castle. Like, do you not think that Zach Edey would have been a great help guarding Cat in this series? They needed a big guy out there to stop Cat. Like, I feel like Zachary Reese has just been such a disappointment, especially when you look at the players that you could have had.
hmm
Wasn't Keontae George in that draft?
Might have been the draft before. Back to your question about where did the Hawks go from here? I mean, I said this after the Trae Young trade, which, I also was not a fan of
Mm-hmm.
because you lost your one really like consistent
You lost your
offensive
game
shot
changer.
creator. You lost your advantage creator. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I said this throughout the season about the Hawks and their offense specifically. I said their offense is really underwhelming in the sense that they can produce points because they have a lot of fast, athletic dudes. And they
Mm-hmm.
can sometimes hit some shots. They have decent shooters. But if you just look at
Mm-hmm.
how their offense is run, um, it's just pass, swing, swing, swing on. It's just a drive and kick kind of offense, right? They just take turns passing the ball on the perimeter until they put up a shot, and then they drive, and they're not able to consistently kind of run um, offensive sets, offensive plays to perfection. Jalen Johnson, Dyson Daniels have the ball in their hands a lot, and I don't think they're enough of a threat off the dribble to kind of scare a defense. And this is why, I mean, you look at it like the Hawks throughout the series, they their points for each game 102,
Mm-hmm.
107, 109, 98, 97, 89. The last three games, they did not put up
Mm-hmm.
100 points, right? I
Right.
mean, and this isn't like, oh, their shot just isn't falling. Yeah, their shot wasn't falling. But like this, their offense just inherently isn't one that's going to generate a lot of points.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's really flawed. Um, and without Trae Young, now they're missing that. So in the offseason, they really need to find, and these don't come by easily, but a player not only that can like be like a bucket, like a guaranteed bucket, but that's actually like able to create advantages consistently off the
Mm-hmm.
dribble. Um, and it doesn't mean they have to be like a guard, right? Because like Jokic is able to create a ton of offense, um, offensive advantages. LeBron is able to do a lot. They don't have the most fancy bag, right? But they're able to back a player down, right? And able to create offensive create advantages in that
Mm-hmm.
way, right? Um, Jalen Johnson might be able to develop into that type of player offensively. He just hasn't yet. And
Mm-hmm.
then defensively, I mean, they rely a lot on their athleticism and them being fast and lanky.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like you're saying, they just don't have enough size to guard Cat. Um, they're also pretty inexperienced. And at the end of the day, like, I mean, the Knicks are also just more talented and they're better, frankly. So I don't think it was that surprising to me that they lost the series, but the fashion in which they lost in the last two games. I mean, losing by a combined 80 points to end your season, like in the last two games, that's like
Brutal.
that's insane. 80 points in two games lost, right?
Yeah.
Lost by. So, um, yeah. So I don't know. The Hawks, they have pieces. They should definitely use them, move around. But the Messenger McCollum to kill Alexander Walker, I don't think
Mm-hmm.
that's the answer at the guards. I mean, both were just CJ McCollum had a few good games, but to kill Alexander Walker, I mean, man, like he wasn't able to score. Yeah,
Yeah. Honestly, like, did the
yeah.
Wolves make the right decision? Because I would assume he played so much better than Nikhil Alexander Walker.
No, no, I think Nikhil is a better player. It's just he was given a role. Now he has to be like more of an offensive shot
Hmm.
creator, and he's just not that. He's just not that, you know? Like when you're playing next to Anthony Edwards, um, you know, it's easier.
Hmm.
And I guess like Io did go for 43 without Ant, but like, you know, I guess. Nah, I think Nikhil Alexander Walker is better. He's a better defender as well. But
Hmm.
because I mean Nikhil Alexander Walker is the type of 3D player that I think the Nuggets would really much like to have. I don't think he's I don't know, maybe the Hawks would be willing to train him. You know what? The Hawks could really use someone like Jamal Murray. Or we're talking about offensive shot creation. But I definitely would not want to do Jamal Murray for Nikhil Alexander Walker. I think that would be terrible. But
That would be
you
terrible.
get the idea. You get the idea.
No, maybe like, or don't the Hawks have like don't the Hawks have the Pelicans pick? Jamal Murray for Nikhil Alexander Walker and the Pelicans pick. Imagine if the Pelicans pick is like I don't know, like a top three pick, right? And you get like, I don't know, like Caleb Wilson or Cam Boozer, or maybe even like Darren Peterson, you know? That would be very interesting for the Nuggets. Like you do that tomorrow, like before the lottery. For like imagine if the Nuggets got the number one pick, got AJ DeBanza. Would that not be a game changer? Would you do
Yep,
that? Like,
now you don't have Jamal Murray.
right, but would you trade Jamal Murray for Nikhil Alexander Walker and AJ DeBanza?
No.
Interesting. But would that not
Actually, I don't
entice you a
know.
little bit?
It
Is
wouldn't
that not a
entice
little bit enticing?
me. It is a little bit enticing. I mean, it's AJ Devance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Lakers Rockets. Man, what a pathetic
Joey from the
series from the
Rockets.
Rockets. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I had Rockets
yeah.
in six going into the series.
What did I have? What did I have?
I think you had like Rockets in six as well,
Yeah.
but
But
I'm
I
not
think we
sure
both
about that.
switched to Lakers pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. I switched Lakers in six.
Hmm. I mean, it's just clear this Rockets team is like we talk about the Nuggets, right? The Nuggets, they're flawed, but it's not like fundamentally flawed, right? They're flawed around the edges. They like, you scrape it off, put some new stuff on it, on the edges, you fix a few things, they can come back as contenders. This Rockets team, I think, might just be fundamentally flawed. And I don't know what's going on because last year Sengun was great. But like I guess it's just showing like people like Steven Adams and Fred VanVleet really just do have that big of an impact on this team. Very unfortunate they both got injured. But yeah, like
Oh, they definitely do.
yeah, they definitely do. But like I don't know, the Rockets, they just I don't even know what they're missing. They're
No,
missing so
because
much.
hear me out. When you have Fred VanVleet, one of the biggest problems of the Rockets, their half court offense is absolutely horrendous. They can't even bring the
But
ball up. They can't even reach the
their
half court
offense
offense.
was yeah, but their half court offense was awful last year too.
Yeah, but like here's the thing. This year the half court offense is bad, right? But the bigger problem is they couldn't even bring the ball up a lot, right? Like they sold what was that game three?
Game
Yeah, game
three,
three to go down three.
right?
Yeah,
Because
if
they
you
couldn't
have
bring the
Fred
ball up.
VanVleet, that's not happening, right? I mean, he's a
Mm,
veteran dude. He's a championship winning point guard, right? Now
right.
you have, I mean, Reed Shepherd, Amin Thompson, Jabari Smith,
Mhm.
like these guys bring the ball up, and that's just not going to work. Um, and then Steven Adams. I mean, Şengün is a cone on defense, like even more so than
Mhm.
Jokic, right? And then now you have Steven Adams, who's a big dude. He's one of the strongest guys in the league. He's and also Şengün, not Şengün. Steven Adams, one of the best screen setters in the league, right? So I mean, they're definitely missing both of them. Veteran presence, very good at their kind of role that the
Mhm.
Rockets were really severely missing. But yeah, like you said, like I think even with them back, I don't know. The Rockets just don't feel like a team that can win. I mean, with that kind of lack of shot making. It's yeah, I mean, the team can't shoot. I mean, Fred VanVleet isn't like the most efficient scorer either, and Steven Adams obviously can't shoot. So like, yeah, mm, yeah, very fundamentally flawed team. Yeah. You also brought up the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets, a lot of their flaws are matchup flaws, right? You have a team that just has your number in the Minnesota Timberwolves. But if you put the Nuggets up against the Spurs, the Thunder, the Celtics, matchup's terrible. The Rockets, like, you would expect them to do pretty well against a team like the Lakers, and they couldn't, you know? Um, yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, we always kind of say like we don't really know where the Rockets go. Do they keep Kevin Durant? We don't know. Is there a chance
Well,
Kevin
I
Durant
think with
wants
the
to leave?
Rockets,
Very likely as well.
well, okay, wait. I think the thing with the Rockets is like I think what they need to do will become more clear as the playoffs play on, just because like who's available will change like as the
Hmm.
playoffs go on, right? Like I don't know, just it just depends on how the playoffs go. Like is actually like is Derek White available?
No. Why would he be available?
Exactly.
No.
Well, no, no, actually, no. Why is he not available?
Why would the Celtics move on from? I don't think the Celtics. It's like the Nuggets, Like I don't think you can move on from your big three. Your Tatum, Brown, and White. Maybe they will.
Is
I
that the big?
wouldn't
Is
want
that a big
recommend that.
three? I feel like it's really just a duo of Tatum and Brown.
Derek White's very solid. I mean, he didn't have a good series offensively, especially, but he's a very solid player. And he's kind of like Aaron Gordon in the sense that, like, yeah, his numbers aren't going to be the best, but he does a lot for the team. Aaron Gordon doesn't have the best numbers as well. He's not a star player in terms of like the box score. Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. Point is, Rockets need to. I don't know. I think Rockets maybe don't do anything because the team is really young. Like Sengun is only 23. Like you might just need to be patient and give it an year or two, you know? Because I think a big thing about playoffs and just like team building is like you can't overreact. Uh,
Hmm.
because sometimes it really is just like a bad draw or just like your players had a bad game.
Hmm. Yeah. All right. Next series.
Yeah, next series. Hmm.
Celtics Sixers. This is another one of the shockers. I think like most most shocking in general would probably be this one, Nuggets Wolves, and probably Magic Pistons.
Hmm.
And also, I mean, it makes sense because Celtics blew a 3-1 league, Nuggets were down 3-1, Pistons were down 3-1, right? So surprising for different reasons, but yeah.
Well, I
I think.
think the
Oh,
thing
actually, I
with
want to
this one
say.
is just
Yeah,
like
sorry,
the
you say.
Tatum injury in game seven.
No, but it's more than just that because I mean, a lot of people were saying after Game Four, I believe, which is Game Four is the first game Embiid came back, and
Mhm.
then the Celtics went up 3-1. People were like, Embiid shouldn't have come back. They might even look better without Embiid. And that just wasn't true. Embiid was a matchup nightmare for the Celtics. They had no answer for him. Defensively, I mean, it was to the point where they were trying Jalen Brown on him, a lot, and it just like they just had no answer for Joel Embiid. I mean, Embiid really looked like okay, like maybe he's like a top three big man in the league again with like Wemby and Jokic in that series.
Mhm.
Vucevic and Kata, Luke Garza, whatever. Like Embiid was just having his way. Um,
Yeah.
And then I mean Brown, Jason Brown, not Jason Brown, Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown. Um, they didn't like play like terribly, but like it wasn't good enough to the point where like they were well, obviously they didn't win, but I think it was
Hmm.
how do I say this? How do I phrase this? I think they weren't at the level they needed to be to completely uh cancel out um Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Paul George, in addition with Joel Embiid. Like
Yeah.
because before they were kind of evenly matched with like Paul George, VJ Edgecombe, um and Tyrese Maxey, and then Embiid comes in the equation, and all of a sudden tips the scale to the Sixers kind of side. Whereas
Mm.
that
Well,
shouldn't be the
also,
case. Like you shouldn't be at the same level.
I think we are overreacting a little bit though, just because like I think a big part of it
Hmm.
is uh the centers couldn't guard Embiid. You find the center in the offseason. I trust if there's anyone I trust to do it, it's Brad Stevens. Uh Obviously game seven, Tatum's out. That's a huge thing, right? And game seven was really close. Like the Celtics had
Hmm.
many chances to take the lead at the end of the game. And honestly, like they had some good looks. Like people were criticizing Jalen Brown for passing to like that the pass he made to Pritchard in the corner. But Pritchard was wide open, right? And he's been knocking those down all season. Like it's fine to trust your shooter, right? Like sure, Kata might have got that dunk, but like I don't hate that pass from Jalen Brown. Uh, it was frustrating in the moment just because of how bad the Celtics were kind of shooting all game. Like for a team that shoots that many threes, they just weren't shooting
Hmm.
very well. It was very frustrating. But I don't think like the Celtics lost. I think just on some bad shooting luck, as well
Hmm.
as like they were just the worst team. I don't think anyone particularly like played them out of that series, except for maybe Nikola Vucevic, who like man, sometimes I do not understand what this man is doing. Oh, Joe Mazzulla, Joe Mazzulla. The starting lineup Joe Mazzulla went with honestly just killed the game for them because they basically started off the game immediately down 9-0. Like if he
Oh, in
didn't do
game
that,
seven,
yeah, they very well could
he
have won
started
that.
Luke Garza
Not just Luca Garza. The starting
and
lineup was
Sharman.
Derek White, Jalen Brown, Luca Garza, Baylor Shireman, and Ron Harper Jr. Ron Harper Jr. started, played like 3 minutes, got taken out, and never touched the court again.
Hmm. I think I mean this is kind of just like the Embiid
Mm-hmm.
kind of problem that he
Right,
presents. That now Joe
yeah,
Mazzulla, also being pretty young coach, is like, nah, I need to find an answer for Embiid. So now he starts, Shireman and
right.
uh and
And I think
Garza,
this is
and
just
then
like
yeah,
the Celtics are kind of missing Al Horford because Al Horford
yes,
is a very good Embiid defender.
and also he's a good shooter. I mean, the Celtics, I mean, they took so many threes this series. They shot themselves out of games. I mean, that fourth
Mm-hmm.
quarter, like you said, was really close, and they just kept taking threes, and like they weren't bad looks, but like they weren't falling. It's like the
Right.
2019 Rockets almost, 2018, yeah, 2018, 2019 Rockets as well, and the 2017, 2018 Rockets. Like it reminds me of the Houston Rockets team. I mean, they're just so reliant on the three, and then that just doesn't work sometimes. And this is actually like this is something I want to note, right? This season, we had not three, two 3-1 comebacks, and the Nuggets were kind of close to a 3-1 comeback as well. And the Rockets were almost coming back from 3-0, right? And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this obviously isn't a coincidence. As teams shoot more, the the kind of what's the word? The volatility, right?
Right.
The the
Increases.
variance is going to increase so much more. So
Right.
we're just
Right.
going to see more of these comebacks, um,
Yeah. And I
comebacks
think
within a
like,
game and comebacks
yeah,
within a series. Yeah.
I think that's like the difference between like this year and last year's Celtics versus the Celtics from like 2 years ago. Because I think the Celtics from 2 years ago are a lot more like the last year's Thunder, right? They shoot a lot of threes, and that is basically what their offense is built off of. But their team and their team identity came from like their defense, right? That year they got like I think Derek White has been kind of like Derek White's still a great defender, but like it's not at the same level it was 2 years ago. like 2 years ago, Drew Holiday, absolutely amazing. And just put Tyrese Halliburton in the blender in the Eastern Conference Finals. I remember did a great job on Luka, did great jobs on Kyrie, Donovan Mitchell, Tyler Hero, just like locking up all the guards they saw along the way. Kristaps was healthy, dominant. Uh, Brown and Tatum. Tatum actually struggled a little bit. Brown was playing amazing. Uh, but yeah, like I think just like their team was built off their defense, right? And then this team is built more off their threes.
Yeah, they're shooting.
And I think like this is the same thing with last year's Thunder, right? They shoot a lot of threes, but the reason they're able to sweep is because of their defense.
Yeah,
So that even if they're having a bad shooting night, instead of losing the bad shooting night, it's like, oh, the bad shooting night becomes like a close game instead of
yeah.
a blowout that it would have been otherwise.
No, exactly like you're saying. Now the Celtics team is like obviously Tatum, Brown, Son team, but the role players are not all
Mm-hmm.
shooters. Braden Pitchard,
Right,
Sam Hauser, right?
right.
I mean Shireman, uh, yeah, like these are all like like more like shooting based. Um,
Mm-hmm.
whereas back then, like your role players were Marcus Smart, Robert Williams, Drew
Oh,
Holiday,
oh no, no, no.
you know.
You're going too far back.
Okay, sure, maybe not that far back. We're talking about 2024 then, right? I mean, still
Yeah.
like Drew Holiday, Porzingis, sure, Porzingis. Like these are still like these. They're more. Their identity is more
Yeah.
defense.
Al
Al
Horford.
Horford,
Yeah,
Al
yeah.
Horford. Uh, yeah,
Uh who else is on that team? Oh, Luke
but
Cornett.
yeah, yeah,
They could have used Luke Cornett this series.
yeah. But yeah, like you said, the Celtics are kind of like the Nuggets. I don't think the matchup wasn't great against the Sixers. Um, and obviously didn't play very well on top of not having the best matchup. And their
Mm-hmm.
weaknesses were just kind of exposed by that matchup. So
Mm-hmm.
both teams, I mean, I had the Celtics and Nuggets both making the finals. That was my finals pick. Both teams are still like contenders as long as you have that general kind of roster of the Celtics and the Nuggets. I think they're going to be fine. But yeah, obviously they need to make these moves to kind of cover up their weaknesses and flaws,
Mm-hmm.
that were
Yeah.
shown this playoff. Yeah. I mean, this wasn't surprising. I think we had Thunder in five. That was more of like we kind of hoped
Yeah.
the Suns win the game, but
Right. Right.
I mean, just like yeah, I mean, just Thunder are a much better team. I don't think there's too much to say
Right.
there. The Suns, I mean, I don't know. Like maybe they need to go. Like everyone says, oh, they need to go get a guard, and they need to go get a guard. Like they need to get a point guard, and they
Mm-hmm.
tried. I mean, they tried with Tyus Jones. That obviously didn't
They
go over too
did.
well.
They did.
Um, but yeah, I mean, this season kind of same issue. Also, offense, not offense. They need a big. I mean, Oso is pretty
Mm-hmm.
nice. I like Oso Iguodala, but like, I mean, he's let's say he's a role player. He's like a very very role player.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, the Suns. This is a team that can be decent, but with this roster build, I don't
Mm-hmm.
see them being anything more than like a play-in team, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
like yeah, just like a play-in team. So they have to kind of choose the direction to go with. Are they going to try to maximize Devin Booker and try to help him contend again, or you know, maybe even on a rebuild mode? I don't think this like being stuck in. Well, they're not stuck in purgatory, but I think this season, this kind of roster is a purgatory kind of roster. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, do you have anything to elaborate?
Absolutely nothing to say. I'm a little bit disappointed the Suns couldn't pull off a single game.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm also just like, I don't know. The reason why they were like game 4 was the closest game. The reason why they were so close, they were in it, it was 3-point shooting, right? And I just think that like throughout the series, they kind of just benched their 3-point shooters. I know Grayson Allen was injured, but like Colin Gillespie, if he started, I feel like they would have been in more games just because like that is the way you can match the intensity of Oklahoma City, right?
Yeah.
Like I think who did OKC struggle with last year? It was the Pacers and the Nuggets, right? Now I don't know about the Nuggets, but like Pacers were a heavy 3-point volume team,
Well, Nuggets don't shoot a lot of threes, but they make a lot of threes.
right?
Yeah. This
For
actually
me,
reminds me.
yeah, yeah.
But sorry, continue. No, you finish. You finish.
No, for me, I think the Suns just like uh you have like a few pieces. Like I think Jalen Green definitely upped his trade value a lot. I think you might try to move him for I don't know who you move him for, but like or maybe trade Booker. I don't know. But I think you do have some pieces that like could definitely get value. Like you have like people like Grayson Allen and Colin Gillespie, kind of a luxury for you at this point. Uh I don't know, maybe you look to trade one of them, maybe Royce O'Neal. Like these are all good 3-point shooters, decent defenders that could that like a contender would definitely want.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think there's a lot of room for them to acquire assets this offseason if that's the route
Yeah.
they want to go. It's, the thing
Yeah.
is, I think that's the route they should go just because I don't see a path towards contention for them.
Yeah. Okay. The thing I was reminded about is actually the Denver Nuggets. You know, I just have to say that, like, we know that since then, no, not since then, since 2019, there hasn't been a team that has won twice. There's been a new champion every single year since 2019,
Mm-hmm.
right? Call me delusional, but I believe, like, I sincerely believe from the bottom of my heart that the Denver Nuggets have been the closest to winning two. Because obviously the Nuggets already have one, right? So among the teams that have won one, it's probably the Celtics and the Nuggets. And you say, oh, the Celtics made it to the finals twice, whatever. Okay. The Denver Nuggets last season against the 2025 champion Oklahoma City Thunder.
Let me
We're like
remind
this,
you. No, no, let me remind you. You beat the Thunder. Please remind me who you play in the conference finals.
the Timberwolves.
Exactly. I think that's settled there. That's settled. You guys can't
Then,
beat the Timberwolves.
oh, I don't, well, I'm not like can't beat the Timberwolves. 2023, up 20 in this game seven.
Yeah, and you guys blew the lead.
Yeah,
And
but hey,
last year,
let
I
me
feel
finish.
like
Not 2020, 2024. No, no, let me finish. Right,
huh?
2025 against the Thunder. The Nuggets had a very, very solid chance of going up, of winning the series in five. I mean, one game one, lost game two, uh, games three and four, right? Games three and four, Nuggets had double-digit leads in the second half,
So
and games three and four, double-digit leads in
so
games three and four. Blew
that
it.
literally
Down
means nothing.
3-2, wins game six. All I'm gonna say is the Nuggets, people want to say, oh, like this team needs complete, like, rebuild. That's not true. The Nuggets were right there with the Thunder. They blew two
No,
games, still went to
I
game
think that
seven.
actually helps their case. I think that helps their case because this is a team that has showed time and time again signs of crumbling in late game situations. That happened. That happened. The same thing that happened back then happened this series against the Timberwolves.
Right. You have a huge lead in game two and you blow it. You completely blew it.
Right.
But that was the first
And
half
plus,
though.
let's not even talk about that. Like, what's the Pacers? Please, Pacers are beating the Nuggets.
No, let's talk about that. But like here, yeah, like you said, the Nuggets, like when people talk about like uh the
Also, why
people
are
like
we talking about the
flipping their
Nuggets?
picks. No, no, I just want to say last thing. When people like there's always people flipping their picks. throughout a playoff series, right? There's no team that is uh more commonly the subject of switching picks than the Denver Nuggets. Because it's always like this. It's like, oh, the Timberwolves, Nuggets go down 2-0 and at home in 2024. But Nuggets come back and win three in a row. It's Nuggets again, you know? And against the Thunder, it's all the same thing. Oh, Nuggets are winning the series. Oh no, Thunder came back. The Nuggets are losing this series. Oh, this season, it was like, oh, the Timberwolves are nowhere near Nuggets level going into game two, right? In the second quarter. And then guess what? Timberwolves come back. Nuggets are out of this. No, Nuggets are coming back, you know? So
Okay,
people
but the
just
Nuggets
have a
coming back was
history.
not because no, the Nuggets coming back was just because Ant got injured.
No,
That was
but I'm
like
just
purely
saying,
from Anthony Edwards' injury.
all I'm saying is people have a history of overreacting with the Nuggets.
Why are we still talking about the Denver Nuggets? That
No, because this is,
conversation
I was
ended
reminded,
half an hour ago.
this is just, there's a history of the media and fans overreacting to the Denver Nuggets because they tend to have these like huge momentum swings within playoff series. So people right now are like, the Nuggets are done. That's not true at all. They're overreacting again. Okay, that's all I want to say.
You're glad it's me and not Zach. You're like you should be glad Zach is not here right now.
Well, why does that matter?
Because I'd say, I'm I'm more of a kind, like when other people's teams get eliminated, I react more kindly than Zach does. And I don't think it's particularly close. Zach can be quite
No,
harsh.
it's only the Nuggets he's harsh.
It's definitely not just the Nuggets.
It's mainly the Nuggets. He's a Jokic
Well,
hater
it's
for the
mainly
Nuggets
you,
hater.
it's mainly you. But let's get back to this. You know, I've said a lot about Paolo Banchero. And I think most of it stands. But one thing that I can't deny is, I do think that through the past 3 years, they've made the playoffs 3 years in a row. Paolo Banchero has shown himself to be quite the playoff riser, at least statistically. Now, whether you want to say the way he plays negatively impacts the rest of his team, could be fair. But I do think Paolo Banchero, has stepped up time and time again. He had like the first year, he had a great series against the Cavs. They lost in seven. Last year against the Celtics, they kind of were just outmatched, but he played well. This year in 7 games, he had it's a game seven. Like you look at the game seven box score, he is the only player that showed up to play basketball yesterday. Uh, he scored 38 points. Next highest was Desmond Bane with 16. Uh, he was a minus 18, but like there's only so much one person can do. Outside of that, I it's quite I'm pretty impressed with Tobias Harris. He's had
I mean, he's a
a
vet.
few pretty good games in a row. Hmm?
He's a vet. He's a lot of playoff experience.
Yeah,
Been on a lot of good teams.
I guess. But like I remember the narrative, like when he was on the Sixers, like they wasted a lot of money on him. Like it was they gave up Jimmy Butler to get him.
Tobias Harris over me.
Yeah. But I mean he's been really good for the Pistons.
Yeah, he was their second best player this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think we said this after the Pistons went down 3-1. The Magic have blown a 3-1 lead as the eighth seed to the first seeded Pistons before. And we
Uh-huh.
said we wouldn't be too surprised if it happened again.
Yeah.
And, it did happen. Pistons are a better team. They have more roster
Mm.
depth. And, in a long
Mm-hmm.
series like this, it shows,
Well,
because
actually, I disagree with that because I think Orlando wins this if Franz doesn't get hurt.
yeah, people place too much emphasis on injuries.
But Franz Wagner is their second best player.
No, I'm saying just in general. Like, they're like, oh, Anthony Edwards is hurt. Oh, Peyton Watson is hurt. Anyway, every team now can say, like, oh, I had injuries. It's part of the game.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I did not
But
bring
like,
up Peyton
anyways,
Watson and Aaron Gordon at all.
well, okay.
Yeah.
Good job. Do you want a sticker?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, I mean, congrats to the Pistons for winning a series, I guess. They still just lack so much 3-point shooting. Actually, game seven, both Cade and Tobias Harris had good shooting nights. So did Dennis Jenkins. Dennis Jenkins actually
Well, the
chose a pretty
Pistons
good
just had a good
day.
shooting night.
Right. The Dennis Jenkins chose a pretty good day to have the best game of his best game of the series. Jalen
Hmm.
Duren had chose a pretty good day to have his best game of the series.
Yes.
By the way, what did Wendell Carter do? Yeah, Wendell Carter kind of got punked.
Yeah. And most of the series he was doing really well against Durant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I,
yeah.
I I
Beef
don't think,
Stew did
yeah,
not play
yeah,
well this game.
yeah.
But yeah, I think the issue with the Magic is just what happened. Like, think about what happened in game six. Like, I remember, like, I got a real notification. Somebody hit a shot, and it was like, uh, 23 straight missed field goals for the Orlando Magic. First team field goal in 13 minutes and 50 seconds. 13 minutes and 50 seconds is more than an entire quarter. And they did not hit an entire shot, a single shot. I think they had 19 points in the entire second half. It's unbelievable.
I
Like,
mean, we
I'm
knew their
genuinely
half-court offense
impressed.
was terrible.
Yeah. The Pistons went on a 51-15 run.
Oh yeah, the Magic had, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah. So where do the Magic go from here?
I don't like this roster. I mean, we know that.
Yeah. This is similar to the Rockets. It's kind of just fundamental flaws.
And they're also pretty young, so yeah. I had the Blazers losing in 5 games. Not 5 games, 4 games, and they lost in five. That one game, they won when Wemby was out. So,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know, I don't think I was very surprised by this kind of result. I mean,
Hmm.
like we said, Spurs is a much better team. They
Right.
match up very well with the Trailblazers. I think the
Hmm.
Trailblazers, if you look back to the season, you'd be like, oh, no, it's a pretty good season. Um, Pretty young team, other than like Drew
Hmm.
Holiday.
Right.
Next season, if you have Drew Holiday and Damian Lillard in your
Not a
backcourt,
terrible backcourt. Yeah,
that's a
pretty good
pretty good
backcourt.
backcourt. And Drew Holiday, because Damian Lillard's not a good defender, like Drew Holiday helps a lot with that. Drew's also a good
Hmm.
shooter and a good passer. So I really, if I'm the Blazers, I'm really looking forward to the future.
Hmm.
And then I mean, Drew and Dame were both Giannis former teammates. That's pretty interesting as well. But like, I mean, actually, I did see something about Giannis, the Blazers rumors. Kind of
Those are
interesting.
really dumb.
Those are really dumb, but that'd be kind of interesting. But yeah, anyways, like the Blazers, I think I'm happy. If I'm a Blazers fan, obviously they need a lot of, I don't know. I mean, I did talk about their offense going into the series where it's just Avia kind of driving and kicking the ball. And obviously that would change with Damian Lillard back, being one
Right.
of the best guards of the century, being one of the best shooters ever, and being a
Hmm.
pretty solid passer as well, right? You can definitely run a pick and roll. He's deep threat. So I think, Damian Lillard does solve a lot of problems. So I'm Blazers fan. I'm feeling really good. I think the Blazers can actually not be a contender, but they can be like a dark horse, kind of make a deep run, maybe make it
Hmm.
to the second round, if
Yeah.
they get lucky, maybe even make it to the conference finals in a year or two.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I disagree with philosophy. They're just there. I don't see it. I don't see their path to the conference finals.
I said if they get lucky.
Even then, like they can get lucky. I think lucky for them would be win a round, unless they actually get Giannis. If they actually get Giannis, then maybe they could get lucky and make it to the conference finals. But it would need to be like something like that, like getting Giannis.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see conference finals either, but yeah, I mean, they can win a series.
Yeah. In fact, I actually do not. I'm not a huge fan of this team. I don't. I disagree with you about their future. I think the future for them is bleak, and not because of anything they've done in particular. It's just because the West is just too strong. Like I don't see a lot. A lot of these teams are good right now in the West. I don't see them going away, and I don't see the way that the Blazers overtake them. Right? Because like Dame, even if Prime Dame comes back, like that's not, you're no longer really in a set. Like Dame is not really ascending. Shaden Sharp is not really ascending. Denny might ascend a little bit, but there's only so much he can ascend. He's not that young. He's like what 26, I think. Like there's just like I don't like unless Scoot actually just figures it. Unless Scoot figures it out, there's not that much room for ascension on this team. Thoughts?
Okay. No, I think you're right. I think you have a point. They're not going to ascend individually that much, but I think as a team they can ascend quite a bit, mainly because Dame Lillard solves a lot of their issues. And yeah, I don't expect them to be like prime Dame. I mean, prime Dame was had an argument for maybe being the best point guard in the league. I mean, that was a conversation we were legitimately having while Steph Curry was also in his prime. Like, who's better? Seems absurd now, but like back then, that was really real convo. Um, but yeah, I mean, even if you can be like a 20, 22, and like six kind of guy, I think that's gonna help the Blazers just a lot. And I think he will be better than that. I mean, even when he was struggling with Milwaukee, he was still like pretty good, you know. Yeah.
They never made it out of the first round.
Yeah.
They won three total playoff games.
Yeah.
I think we move on.
I think we move on. All right, round two. Cavs Pistons. First game tomorrow. I have the Cavs winning in seven.
Oh, I have the Pistons in seven. I have the Pistons in seven. Actually, do I have the Pistons in seven? Actually, let me think about this. You start talking
Now,
first.
why you think about it? I have the Cavs in seven because the Pistons against the Orlando Magic, the eighth seed. And you can say, oh, the Magic were a pretty good eighth seed and whatever. Um, and they were matched up pretty well against the Pistons. But the Pistons, I mean, to struggle that much, to be down 3-1 as the first seed, that makes me, as a Pistons fan, and if I'm the Pistons team, I'm a little bit concerned now, right? And that's like, now we're playing the Cavs. If we're just talking about like roster, starting lineup, as good as like pretty much anyone, you know? And then I think about my half court offense. I think my offense in general, pretty terrible. It took shooting 49% from three, which, the
Mm-hmm.
Pistons don't do on a regular basis to
They do
win the
not.
series, come back against the eighth seed in
Mm-hmm.
Magic. Now I'm facing uh James Harden, Donovan Mitchell. The Pistons, I mean, I guess they have a Sar Thompson. I guess, but he's one guy. They got two elite perimeter players on the defense on the interior. Um, Jalen Duren struggled against Wendell Carter. Jared Allen isn't great, but like he struggled against Wendell Carter. Now you have Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, right? And the Cavaliers also have pretty good wing players, role players, um, and Jalen Tyson, um, and Max Strus if he can get hot. And then you have Keon Ellis who should play more this series. He didn't play that much in the series against the Raptors, which makes sense because I mean the Raptors are kind of mainly running through Scotty Barnes um
Mm-hmm.
and Keon Ellis is a little bit undersized, but I think Keon Ellis will be much use in this series against Dennis Jenkins against Cade Cunningham.
Mm-hmm.
So I like how the Cavs match up against the Pistons. And I think roster wise, the Cavs also might be better. And I'm just thinking about in terms of like what has happened recently. the
Hmm.
Pistons had more trouble in the first round than I think the Cavs did, even though both series went to seven.
Mm.
So for these reasons, I'm picking the Cavs. Now I still think it's close. That's why I have Cavs in seven. But
Right.
yeah.
Who do you think is the best player in this series?
Um, I want to say Mitchell, but based on recent performances, probably Cade Cunningham.
Hmm.
But how are the like are they gonna have a Sar Thompson just like on an island with Mitchell? Not, I don't know. No, that'd be an interesting one.
Would Cade guard Mitchell or would Cade guard Harden?
I think it would make more sense to have Cunningham on guard on Harden, but then like
Mhm.
yeah, like I feel like there's these like these matchup issues where I don't see that big of an issue on the other end because you can put Harden on Tobias Harris. Now Tobias Harris is a good
Mhm.
like played really well in the series, but like Harden historically has done pretty well against these like forward kind of wing type players, and or you can if that isn't working out, like you can just switch Harden onto like a Sar Thompson.
Mhm.
Um, I feel like the Cavs have many more options there defensively. Um, yeah, than the Pistons do. They can experiment more. Yeah.
One matchup I really don't like is for the Cavs is Jared Allen against Jalen Duren. I
hmm
think Jalen Duren is much stronger. He's a bigger dude.
hmm
Like I recently found out, yeah, Jared Allen's only 6'9".
hmm
I thought he was taller. His hair makes him a lot taller. Uh, but yeah, he
Wait,
gets
who's only
pushed
six
around a
nine?
lot. Jared Allen.
That's got to be Cap.
No, but like I feel you got to take into account how big his hair is.
He's 6'9".
Yeah, he's 6'9".
LeBron 6'8". Nah, he's only 6'9".
Look it up right now.
Nah, that's false information. Let me
He is
see.
6'9". You really just got to take into account like his hair is 2 inches tall.
All right, whatever. So continue.
Well, I mean, I basically said what I was gonna say. He could get pushed around. Him and Evan Mobley could both get pushed around by like Isaiah Stewart and uh, Jalen Duren are just a much tougher front court duo than well, I guess you probably would play Tobias Harris. It would be Tobias Harris and Jalen Duren. But you get the
Yeah, but
point,
here's
right?
the thing. Scotty Barnes and Colin Murray Boyles, they're able to kind of they're not like outside shooters, but they can operate more in the post. They can
Mm-hmm.
operate in the mid range, you know. And Murray Bowles had a really lethal floater that was killing Allen. That's not
Right,
something Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren are gonna do. They're more dominant
right, because
inside, get
they're
physical.
right, and that is where he gets that. Like, I think that's where Jared Allen can struggle.
But you have Mobley and Allen, who are both good rim protectors. They're both a little like on the lighter end, so maybe they get like pushed
Mhm.
around a little bit. But one of them gets, shifted a little bit, the other one helps. And I think, just the presence of the two of them inside, lanky rim protectors, because they were getting cooked off these like floaters from Scotty Barnes and Colin Murray Boyles. I think if you actually try to like take it inside on them, even if you're bigger and stronger, they're long dudes and good rim protectors. I think they'll do
I don't know. I don't. I just don't trust either of them.
fine.
Like, I just look at them and they're like, nah, nah, nah. I don't see it. Like Jalen Duren is quite literally twice their size. Let me look up the weight difference. Jared Allen, uh, Jared Allen is 243. That's actually pretty heavy.
Yeah. And then
Okay, they're actually pretty close. Uh, Jalen Duren's listed at 250, and Jared Allen's listed at 243. Really?
Hmm.
Jared Allen's that heavy?
If they also just like the Pistons, I mean, like the Cavs, they have shooters. They have everything. Like they have options. This is my thing. I think they have a lot of depth on their team, um, depending on the matchup. But I like the Cavs a lot. Um, to come out of the East.
Hmm. I think I'll probably agree with you then.
Yeah,
Uh, we'll go Cavs in seven. Although I know, let's go Cavs in six. We'll go Cavs in six.
yeah.
Just because uh James Harden sucks in game sevens.
Hmm. This is one of the series, one of two series that already started earlier
All right.
tonight.
The
The
Wolves have a
Timberwolves won this
1-0
game,
lead.
and I think both of us had the Spurs winning going
Uh
into the game.
Going
Not the
into the
series,
game,
just this game. I had the Spurs winning game one.
what did I say? I did have the Spurs winning game one.
Yeah. Um,
Uh yeah. I was shocked that Anthony Edwards came back and played today. And he looked
yeah,
really good.
yeah. You look good, especially the fourth quarter. The
Yeah.
first three quarters, I mean, he didn't play too much on a min restriction, and also just like wasn't as aggressive. But in the fourth quarter, he took over. I mean, he
Yeah.
individually kind of went on a bit of a run, and it was a close game. It was a close game throughout the game. This entire game was close. Um, I have the Timberwolves winning this series. Before this game, I had the Timberwolves winning this series, and I think this game just further solidified my pick. I have the Timberwolves winning in
Mm.
six, making the conference finals for their third straight season. Um, the
Mm.
Spurs are really young, um, inexperienced. I think their time will come. It didn't matter to me if the Timberwolves won or the Nuggets won. I would have picked either team to beat the Spurs. Um,
Right.
I mean, Wemby had 12 blocks today. It was great defensively, but like on offense, he was terrible. I mean, the Spurs offense, I also just don't see enough reliable options. Um, the Timberwolves have Anthony Edwards, have Julius Randle, and they have solid role players like Adesomu and Jaden McDaniels, even without Dante DiVincenzo, that I feel pretty confident that can give me a bucket. Defensively, we all know the Timberwolves are like what they can be. And
Mm.
I actually think like they have solid enough ways to, even in a game where Wemby had 12 blocks, they were still able to put up 100 points, which obviously I guess isn't too much, but like they won the game. Um,
Mm.
I think throughout the series they can find ways to kind of neutralize the threat of Wemby on defense a little bit.
Right.
Obviously they don't have a Jokic type player who can, just take Wemby one on one and kind of move Wemby away from the rest of the offense. But I think Julius Randle um, is able to shift Wemby a little bit, and it helps
Hmm.
open things up for Anthony Edwards. Um, so I don't know. I like this. I like the Timberwolves going to the conference finals again. I have them winning in six.
Well, here's the thing. I was gonna make the same pick
Hmm.
because I thought this was gonna be a hot take.
Hmm.
But it seems like this is not actually a very hot take. So I'm gonna go
But why
Spurs
isn't it a
in.
hot take?
Why is it not a hot take? Because they won today.
Oh, yeah,
And then, as people always overreact. So now
yeah.
I'm gonna underreact. In fact, I'm gonna
Hmm.
react the other way. Because they won, I'm gonna say they're gonna lose the series. Spurs in six. Actually, no, no, no. I don't want to go Spurs in five. We'll do Spurs in seven.
Hmm.
But the thing is, Spurs in five is possible.
I don't think it is.
We'll go Spurs in seven.
Hmm.
Uh, but I really believe in the Wolves because nobody is better at guarding Wemby than I don't want to say nobody's better than Rudy Gobert because that's just not true. But Rudy Gobert is a very good option to guard Wemby, and
I mean, it looked like
so
it
is
today. Too far away, we
yeah.
couldn't shoot.
They held Wemby to 8 points.
Wait, actually, this is a thing. This probably isn't like a crazy revelation. But if you are a big man and you can't shoot, Gobert all of a sudden shows himself as being one of the GOAT defenders. Because why does like Jokic usually like barbecue chicken Gobert? Because Jokic usually can shoot 40% from three. That's why he's giving him like 60s point games. But now Jokic can't shoot. So now it's Gobert's like comfort area in the paint. And Gobert is one
Uh-huh.
of the best paint defenders of all time, right? And Wemby today, 0 for 8 from three, also can't shoot. 11 points, 29% from the field. Because if you can't shoot, then like Gobert can maybe have his way with you a little bit more. So
Hmm.
then because you got to shoot, Gobert has to come out. Oh shoot! Then now all of a sudden you can also just take him in, and it becomes easier for you to score inside as well because you brought him out. He's not the quickest, on his feet.
Right.
So
And it also opens so
yeah,
much for your guards.
yeah, yeah. So Wemby definitely needs to shoot a lot better in order to win the game, win the
Yeah.
series. And we know he doesn't have the most efficient 3-point shot. I mean, it's his career so far just has been like that. He's capable of hitting
Yeah.
from deep, but not consistently.
Right.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. I'll stick with Spurs in seven. Uh,
Hmm.
Wemby's shot's gonna fall. Spurs are just a really talented team. Yeah, we'll go with Spurs in seven. But I'll say if Wolves take game two,
You might have to
a
flip.
different story. Might have to flip.
Oh, Knicks Sixers. This is the second game. Well, I guess actually the first game of the second round. That was played today. Um, and the Knicks kind of blew out the Sixers by like 40.
Yeah.
And the Knicks have been hot. I mean, they've won
The
the
Knicks have
last
been
three
hot.
games by like 30 and or more,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah.
They're feeling good, And the
Which
Pacers
is
aren't here to
why I
hunt them
think
down.
they could make it to the finals. Some Knicks fans will tell
Unfortunately,
you all
yeah.
about it.
Fortunately, yeah.
I have this Knicks winning in six.
Hmm. I have. See, I really want to take the Sixers because I do not like the Knicks, but I don't know. Joel Embiid is gonna have to play better than he played today. Because Joel Embiid was not good today.
No one was good today. Maybe Paul
Paul George was
George.
actually decent.
Yeah, maybe Paul
And Paul George is so good. But yeah, it's like 14 points, 4 rebounds. It's just not good enough.
Yeah.
Tyrese Maxey, 13 points, 2 assists, not good enough. Obviously, everybody kind of just had a bad shooting night, but like, other than Paul George and Kelly Oubre, who actually had pretty decent games. But yeah, your superstars, if they don't show up, it's not going to be good. And I honestly thought, like, I thought that the Knicks, I guess, I thought the Knicks would put Cat on Embiid, and that would give like the Knicks problems. But I guess the Knicks kind of addressed that before it happened by putting Mikal Bridges on Embiid. And Mikal actually did a pretty good job.
Hmm. McCall had a good game
Yeah, Mikal did have a good game.
after having a horrible first series.
Right. Well, he was decent game six, but everybody on
Yeah.
the Knicks played well game six.
Yeah.
I'll go Sixers and seven.
Okay.
No, Sixers and six.
Okay. All right. Last series. This will start tomorrow. Very anticipated series, mainly just because there's so many Lakers fans out there. Uh,
Right.
but uh, I have the Thunder winning in six.
I have the Lakers in seven.
And I think I know why you have the Lakers in seven.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing. I'm a bit of a basketball conspiracy theorist, and this take comes from conspiracy theory. Has absolutely nothing to do with actual basketball. If it was actual basketball, I would take the Thunder in five. However, if you look at the past few years, this Carson said since 2019, no team has won two championships, right? Well, also since 29, well, also since like I think this is more like 2021. Since the Bucks won in 2021, because uh Raptors won. I don't know what happened
Yeah.
to the Raptors the next season, but Lakers won, missed the playoffs the next year. then after the Bucks win, every single year the defending champ loses in the second round. Uh, the Bucks lose to the Celtics in seven in 2022. Uh, I think Warriors lose to the Lakers in I think six in 2023.
And six, yeah.
Uh, Nuggets lose to the Timberwolves in seven in 2024. And last year the Celtics lose to the they lose to
Nice to
the
Knicks.
Knicks, right?
Yeah.
And in all of these series, now in some series are more surprising than others. But like I feel like, especially last year's series, like no one was expecting the Knicks to win. 2 years ago, like obviously people were talking about, oh, the Wolves are built to beat the Nuggets, but nobody was really expecting the Nuggets to lose that series. And I just think like in the second round, because they're defending champions, like a lot of people are like, oh, they're such a good team. They won last year. Oh, they're going to win again. And then they just kind of overlook some flaws that might be showing up that weren't present the year before. And I definitely think that OKC has some flaws they didn't have last year, such as, I think they're not as good shooting as they were last year.
Yeah.
J-Dub's injured. I think Shea has gotten better, but like no one else really gotten better. Isaiah Hartenstein is nowhere near as good as he was last year,
They've
right? Like
become
just
more
a lot
Shea
of like,
reliant. Yes.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I do think that there is a path for the Lakers to win, and I see this path. I'm just going to take it. And honestly, now that I'm hearing myself talk, this is three underdog picks in a row. So I think I'm actually going to go back, and I'm going to take the Knicks in six.
Wait.
Switch my Sixers pick
Okay.
to Knicks in six. Yeah.
You did say no one improved other than Shea. Case and Wallace improved a lot. AJ
Oh,
Mitchell.
Case and Wallace did improve. You're
These
right.
are two players who showed up this season that weren't last season.
Mm.
Um yeah. But yeah, like J-Dub, I mean he's been hurt like all year. And I don't think he's playing tomorrow either. And J-Dub was huge in their championship
Mm-hmm.
run. I mean he had
Right.
40 in the finals game. Right.
Right. He did do that.
Um uh I do think the Lakers are kind of need Luka. I mean, it was reported that Luka's actually not that close to coming back. Hopefully he does come back this series. I think it'll be cool to watch because Luka actually does present a big problem for the Thunder. Because the Thunder, I mean, they thrive a lot with like swarming like opponent guards just by being bigger, faster, stronger, and they just like
Mm-hmm.
press them, right? And a lot of them aren't able to, hold their handle and make the right reads. Well, that's the thing with Luca. Luca plays at his own pace. He's a big, strong dude. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and he has one of the best handles in the game. That doesn't work on
Mm-hmm.
Luca. I mean, Luca also like on the Mavericks finals run, they beat the Thunder, who were also the first seed that year, right? They were the
Right.
first seed that
But
year.
I feel like that run also had a lot to do with like PJ Washington was out of his mind.
Yeah, and Kyrie Irving was also the combination of Kyrie and Luca. But now you have
Yeah.
Kyrie and Reeves, and now obviously Reeves is not
Or
as good as
Luca and
Kyrie.
Reeves. Luca and Reeves.
Oh no, yeah, but Luca and Reeves, and obviously Reeves is not as good as Kyrie yet, especially in
Yeah, but you
in the
also have like
apartment.
LeBron in there.
You also have LeBron in there, so you have players who can, you can trust to get the ball to a place where you can actually run your offense.
Right. And like LeBron and Luca are both like, they're I wouldn't say they're turnover like resistant,
No,
but
they're very turnover prone.
they're like they're pretty smart with the ball. Like,
They're like Jokic.
yeah,
They're going to
yeah,
turn over the ball because they have the ball in their hand so much. But yeah,
right. But they're definitely not like you can't you can't rely on turnovers to beat them.
yeah. But I mean, I still have the Thunder winning in six because I mean they're the better team. I mean that's how I see it. I
Hmm.
mean I don't think that's a controversial take. Shea is the best player in the series, especially with Luka out. I
You're
don't think the
right.
Lakers have an answer for Shea. Marcus
Hmm.
Smart,
I mean, Marcus Smart's a decent answer. He's a former defensive player of the year.
he's too small.
Sure, but also I think that in like we've seen that sometimes Shea can have a great game and it won't matter.
Yeah, if the Thunder players, role players, can hit their shots, and they usually do. I mean, this season they don't shoot as well as they did last season, but
Hmm.
and Shea, it's just Shea. I think they win this series, and J-Dub will probably come back sometime in the series. Hopefully, Luka comes back sometime in the series. Um, when did Mason Plumlee get on the Thunder?
Mason Plumlee's on the Thunder.
Yeah,
Good for him, I guess.
Mason Plumlee ring chasing in 2026. Oh, Mason Plumlee was the Nuggets center. Oh man, interesting man.
Mason Plumlee is not on the Thunder. What are we talking about?
Oh, he's not?
No, he's on the Spurs.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought he was on the Spurs. But
Why did you say Mason Plumlee's?
my
What?
reel's tripping. It has him on the Thunder roster. Okay.
Oh, it does. That's interesting. Like, that is strange. That is very strange.
Yeah, I mean matchup wise, um, I think LeBron actually presents a problem for the Thunder because LeBron's also a big dude. You know,
Right.
at the forward position, who is a point forward. So Luka and LeBron, I think, present huge issues for the Thunder. These are the kind of their weaknesses. Um,
Hmm.
so actually, I might change the Thunder in seven.
From Thunder in six to Thunder in seven.
No, I'm changing it. No, I'm not changing it. It's Thunder in six. It'll be a close six. I think this will actually be a really good series. Um,
Hmm.
but I think realistically, I don't think the Lakers can win a championship with this team.
Well, I don't think so either. I think if they make it to the conference finals and run into either Wemby or they run into Ant, they're getting destroyed. I just think that, like, the only reason I'm saying this is because of history. Like,
Okay.
if I'm being objective, it's OKC and five. I'm only making this
Well,
pick
then
because I'm
elaborate on
history.
that. Why do you think it's five?
Oh, because I just think like without Luca, you're starting like you talk about swarming guards, right? There's no guard it's easier to swarm than Marcus Smart and Luke Kennard. Are you kidding me? Luke Kennard will not be able to take the ball up the court in this game. Like, say, I think Austin Reeves suffers from the same issue. Like Austin Reeves is not completely healthy. He doesn't have normal explosivity. Like you put Casey Wallace on him, he's getting locked up. You put who's the bald guy? Alex Caruso on him, he's getting locked up. Like this is going to be very LeBron reliant, and I don't think LeBron can do enough. This is not 2018 LeBron that can just carry you through a series, right? Uh, I
No, I
so
don't
from a
need
basketball
LeBron to
perspective,
give me 40. I just
no, but
need
Luca
LeBron
is
to
not
bring the
playing.
ball up.
Luca is not playing though. And like, are we really trusting DeAndre Ayton against Chet Holmgren? Are we really trusting Jackson Hayes against Isaiah Hartenstein? Like, are we joking? Right? Rui Hachimura being guarded by Luka Dort. Like, Rui Hachimura is a great
No,
player. He's
Dort is
not
gonna
built
want
for that.
LeBron. Dort's gonna
Oh,
want
Dort's
LeBron.
Dort will want LeBron. Who's gonna be on? Who's gonna be on Rui? Is Shea gonna be on Rui?
No, Shea's kind of small for. I don't know.
Wait,
J-Dub.
is Shea gonna be
Jada's
on
not playing.
Austin Reeves then?
Probably, yeah. I mean, Shea, no, that's probably not true as well. Shea usually guards the worst player. This whole
Okay,
narrative of Shea being a great defender, it's overrated. Like
it
he's a
is
decent
overrated.
defender,
Okay, so
but
I
he
think
always guards the worst player.
Shea will be on what Luke Kennard or Marcus Smart, whoever starts, and
Uh,
then
Probably
Case
Luka guard.
Wallace, Case Wallace on Jada.
No, on Reeves, or something,
Oh, on Reeves, right? Case Wallace on Reeves. Why did I say Jada? Case Wallace on Reeves, and then Lou Dort on LeBron, and
Who's
then
left?
if I guess Jada will be on
Well, Jada's not playing
Rui if he
tomorrow,
plays.
but
So then
Hardenstein will
who's
probably
starting?
start.
Okay, so Hardest, yeah, okay, and
Or
then
they might start AJ Mitchell. But we'll see.
we'll see.
It'll be an interesting one. Um, yeah, I'm not too worried about Rui. I mean, obviously he has 50% of his threes in the playoffs, but he's gonna do his thing. I don't think he's an X factor. He's pretty consistent. If he plays bad, it could cost the Lakers. But yeah, I don't think it's like an X factor in the way that like I don't know who would be an X factor in the series.
Mhm.
LeBron, obviously. I don't think that
LeBron would
counts as
be
an X factor. If you're a star player, you're automatically an X factor. X factor is like if Luke Kennard and
Luke
Marcus Smart
Kennard.
can do what they
Yeah.
did again, right? X factor for the Thunder, right? Case and Wallace, Jared McCain, and the role players
Mm.
if they hit their
I feel like
shots.
Jared McCain's not going to play enough to be an X factor.
Yeah, just like the role players if they
Like,
can hit their
I
threes.
think an X factor is more like J Dub. Will he play? That's an X factor.
Yeah, no,
Luca, is he going to come back? That's an X factor.
oh
Yeah, I have Lakers in 7. You have Thunder in 6. Is that the last series?
yes.
All right. Well, thank you guys all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, really helps us out. If you want, share the video too. That would be great. That would be very awesome of you to do. Yeah, goodbye.